I don't even know what's going on here. It's going very slow. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, guys, hello there and welcome back to the Spikehead podcast. And it is so nice to be back. I have already broken my vow to do the American Pie, the wedding review yesterday. Basically, the reason for that was my sound recorder's battery is completely run out. I didn't get paid till last night. So that couldn't happen, and also the BAFTA live reaction stream that is being cancelled for Sunday because I've got a meeting with a little side project I've got going off. It's not film related, but it's going to be a lot of fun nevertheless. I am here, and last week we did a very, very nice... Oh, hang on. What was going on here? Okay, so the stream health is going to pop by the looks of things, which is interesting. Let's try this on size. Try something different. Try a different setting. And hopefully I'm not getting the worst thing ever. But anyway, got my whiskey here. It's whiskey and coke. We're gonna sit around and we're gonna chat some movies for a while. Now we have got a worst of the decade tier list to do today. Gonna try and get through it quicker than the best of list because that best of list did take forever to do. So basically, we've got our worst. That's why I'm getting quite tipsy, because some of these films are fucking garbage, for lack of a better term. Now, the tier list today, we've got, because some of these aren't even the worst films ever. They're not the worst films ever made, but a few of them did kill their respective franchises. And because of that, they have gone the worst list because they kill their franchise. And if that's not a failure of a film, then I don't know what is. So, that is one thing I've taken into consideration. Unlike with the best of the decade video, I have not limited it to one per franchise. And if a franchise has a bunch of shit coming out in one decade, then I'm going to call it out for that. And I am also... What was the other rule I had? Oh, I have cheated as well with it has to be a theatrically released film, because there's a couple on here that were never theatrically released, and it shows exactly why it was never theatrically released. Just gonna throw up some social media to follow there while I just nom on my pizza slice. The Instagram does need updating, by the way. I have since changed my Instagram to a security issue. But other than that, everything is up to date, so feel free to give those a follow if you so wish. There's a little post up saying I'm live. And then from there we can get right into the details of all this. So, copy that. And I am definitely happy. I am very happy with the way things are going. I've got DaVinci Resolve on, so that's going to be very helpful when it comes to doing videos, and there are a number of films I'm going to be seeing very soon. So, lots of pizza that I get down me. Let's have a sip here. And those of you not knowing what I'm drinking tonight, I've got a bit of the Famous Grouse whiskey because JD was way too expensive. And my backup one, Glenn's, was not available. I'm mixing it with his Pepsi Max. And I put it in this fancy glass there. So, leave the cap your style. Cheers. Good see how many of these we can get through. So, like last time, we're going to put it on an NAT to start with and go from there. And start off with, we're going to have the 1517 to Paris. So this film, directed by Clint Eastwood, is about these three gentlemen that stop the terrorist attack on a train. Absolute heroes. A terrorist gets his gun out, does club one person, but no one dies, no one gets shot because these guys were so quick to do it because they were all military men. They were so quick to take down this terrorist. However, Clint Eastwood thinks it would be a good idea to tell this story because the actual event's only like 10 minutes. The actual event is only taking up 10 minutes of screen time. So what Clint Eastwood does is gives us, instead of actors, he brings in the actual real life heroes who deserve way better than this because none of them have ever been on camera before, and you can definitely tell that the acting is so wooden. They look so nervous throughout the entirety of this movie, and it's just the fact that it's literally a Euro trip movie. It just shows them going around Europe. There's one bit where two of them meet with this woman and they get gelato together and they chill on the boat. It's a very, very, very dull movie, and it's something that really should not have been made. Honestly, this is the definition of a film that just doesn't work on any level. With these three tiers, the redeemable qualities are the films that I feel like have redeemable aspects to it that give the film some form of enjoyment. However, watching the influence, we like to dabble in a bit of the drink and herb, as it were, and there's some films that are bad, but you can enjoy them ironically when you're under the influence of something. And then there's the fuck this movie tier, where every fibre of this movie is just wrong in every single way. And unfortunately, that is where 1517 to Paris is going to have to go. I promise my focus movie tier will get more ranty as the video stream goes along. But this particular film, I just feel bad for the guys. I really do. But that is where it's going to go. Now, if you can't see on the screen there, this next one on the list is A Cure for Wellness. Now, A Cure for Wellness, how do I word it? A Cure for Wellness is one of those films that is edgy. It is very, very edgy, and it tries so hard to be edgy. It is shot beautifully and has nice intrigue for the first hour or so because you want to know more about what is going on in this general vicinity. However, it doesn't do much more than that. It is a very weird film, this one. Cure for Wellness is a very weird film. It was very well marketed, and it was actually one of the films that was put on like the highlights of my cinema that I was working at the time because of how built up the marketing was for it. But when you got customers coming out of this film and then make a point to turn back and come to people on the stand and ask if you've seen it, and when you say no, they tell you categorically, do not watch it, you know there is a big problem on this film's hands. Now, thinking back, I don't think it made my worst of list. It was definitely on the lower part. It wasn't my worst of list, but in hindsight, this film does have a lot of feels about it. Many of these bottom films that I've seen in the past, I forget about them. This one, I remember being a very weird film that unfortunately didn't do very well at all, and it definitely underperformed at the box office, and it's easy to see why. But I will say the cinematography in this and the set design is breathtaking, and it's a good concept behind it. So this is definitely one of those films that does have its redeemable qualities, like you're feeling in a weird mood. This is definitely one that you can consider. But other than that, there's not a whole lot about this film that you can really enjoy. What's next? Aha! All Eyes on Me is the third of my worst of the decade list, and this film was a... how do I word it? It was a disgrace. This film, when I watch an autobiography film, I want to learn more than what I can find on Wikipedia when it comes to these sorts of movies. Straight Outta Compton nailed that concept flawlessly. Nefarious, it was okay. It wasn't the greatest, but it was okay. All Eyes on Me, however, it's one of those where everyone knows Tupac was shot in real life, and you know that's where the film's going to end. But when we get half through the film, and I want nothing more than to see this guy shot already, because that's bad. The thing with these films is you got to make the main character, give him an honest portrayal, but give him some sort of sympathy or something along those lines. A lot of these biographies have done that very well. This film, I did not like Tupac Shakur at all in this. I don't know if that's the writing or what, but he just was not very likable at all. So when it came for him getting shot, I honestly couldn't care less. I wanted to learn more about him because everyone always talks about Tupac. I'm not a big fan of rap music, so I've always been curious about what is the man behind this rap legend. And this film has failed to deliver that for me. There was not a whole lot I enjoyed with this film, and even people that know Tupac, people that have told me they know Tupac, they even said it's not good. And that's saying something. The fact that the film is not good and they have to actually put it up, it's crazy, this. And All Eyes on Me, I'm gonna say this is a fuck you movie, because fuck this movie. It did not do any of the stuff it was supposed to do. It clearly had better things before it, and instead we just get this whitewash of a movie. And I'm putting this one in the redeemable quality straight away. It's Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, why is it in the worst of the decade list? Because objectively, it's not a terrible film. It's just not good compared to other superhero movies. And the reason it's there is simply because it killed the franchise. This was supposed to lead to a Sinister Six build, and there was going to be more added to the film later on down the line. And the fact that it killed its own franchise, the fact that Sony had to sell the rights to Marvel, or at least some of the rights, so they can get Spider-Man in the MCU, says a hell of a lot about how badly this film failed. I did watch it after the fact, and I don't think it was the worst film ever. This is an objectively worst of the decade one. But I will say the forced-in nature of the Green Goblin in the last third just gave shades of the Raimi trilogy's ending, and it just didn't work in the slightest for me. But it is a well-made film, and Andrew Garfield is good with the spider suit, and the Gwen and Peter Parker relationship is also very likable. Gotta take a brief pause here. Now, next up on this list is Annabelle. Now, Annabelle, The Conjuring came out, and it reinvented the horror genre in the last decade. Annabelle, I like the story behind Annabelle. I'm a big fan of paranormal stuff, so UFOs, ghosts, I'm all about that shit. Annabelle, I had a lot of questions going into it. For one, for those who don't know, the real doll is a Raggedy Ann doll. It's the most adorable little doll ever. You wouldn't think it's possessed by a demon. The writers of this film thought, this adorable Raggedy Ann doll, the fact this Raggedy Ann doll can move around and stuff would have been terrifying on its own, but they thought, no, we need to make this the creepiest looking doll in the history of dolls that no one could ever want. And the woman in this gets the doll to put in the baby's room. That baby's going to have some fucked up memories when they grow up. ignoring that aspect of reality that I really didn't like, there's also the fact that this film is lacking in scares. The Conjuring avoided jump scares at all costs. There are jump scares, but they are legit ones. They're not like drain the noise out and boom. This film did a lot of boomy jump scares. The only good scare in that is when a little girl's running towards the door, she closes the door, and then grown up adult will burst through the door. That's the only good bit about this film. This film also had a very low body count. Now, yeah, in these paranormal films, no one really dies in these, but the fact that this doll is just basically pranking this family the whole way through, and then it ends up just being a suicide as the only death in that film. It was just a massive step back, and its two followers were much better. Annabelle Creation was fantastic, and I enjoyed Annabelle Comes Home. To me, I enjoyed it. It's a nice, fun horror movie, but this is the forgotten child of the franchise, and it was the first. It's not the worst in the entire franchise. I feel like La Llorona is probably slightly worse than this, but it is definitely bottom tier when it comes to the Conjuring universe, and this is one of those where I'm going to put in the under the influence because I don't think it's fuck this movie. I don't think it's worth getting angry over. This movie is more of a get your friends around, have a few beers, watch a horror movie. You have to watch out of 3 DVDs, and Annabelle is one of them, and you have to choose between Annabelle, the third Blair Witch film, and I don't know, Texas Chainsaw 5. Then Annabelle's not a bad choice. Ooh. I'm going to need to take a pause for this one, just to get out my thoughts. Got too much pizza, mate. Get this down me, bite into another slice, net this refill. Because this is rant number 1 of this video, guys. It is number 1 on the rants. In fact, oh yeah, we've got some rants coming up shortly, guys. Let's get this down. So, Assassin's Creed. To summarize my thoughts on this movie, there's a line that Michael Fassbender's character says about 30 minutes into the film, let's say, 30 minutes into the film, and he says, what the hell is going on? And that's the only time I related to the character. Because at that point, I didn't have a goddamn clue what was going on in this film. It is based off a franchise. The trailer was half decent, and the behind the scenes where they told you how they did the leap of faith, how they did it all practical. It gave me cautious optimism. It gave us all cautious optimism. It gave us hope that video game movies could potentially be good. Potentially. And I never walked out of a film, ever. But this film, while I didn't walk out of it, usually a film ends, you sit there, reflect for a few seconds, you put your jacket on, you get up slowly, that's fine. This film, moment it cut to black, jacket on, up, I was out the door before anyone even moved. In that screen, no one had literally moved an inch by the time I'd got my jacket on and left the room. It was abysmal. Trailer, you have that woman that does the smile towards the camera and zooms away. They show you all this cool assassin stuff that's going on. And Jesus Christ, she is underused in this film. Can't remember the character's name. That's how fucking forgettable this film is. But they take this awesome looking character to just a nothing character. This game franchise, which is like 75% ancient stuff and like 25% modern day storyline, they're like, nope, we're going to reverse that, have it mostly modern day, with only one or two flashback sequences to make it Assassin's Creed worthy. The bad guys have assassin descendants just wandering around the place, and they do the shot Pikachu meme when they suddenly start stabbing everyone. How do they get these gas bombs and wrist blades in this prison that they're in? God knows, this movie was awful. This came out January 1st of the year it came out in the UK, and nothing beat it. Not a single film was worse than it. It started the year at the very low point. Every single film I saw that year, and there were some stinkers that year. I'm pretty sure there's a couple more on here in the worst list, but that one there was bottom of it. Bottom of the fucking barrel. This Assassin's Creed, this is a fuck this movie. This is a big fuck this movie. I feel like I should have made 2 fuck this movie tiers, because there's some that like All Eyes on Me, 2017, some you just pity. This one was just like, no, fuck yourself. Now I'm picture's cold. Now I warn the pizza's getting cold. Glorious. Right. Moving on. This got a small release in the UK. Batman and Harley Quinn. Can I remember what the plot of this film is? Nope. I just know this was a weak source film. We have Harley bullying Nightwing. We have Batman Nightwing kissing Harley at the end. There's a whole farting sequence in this movie. There's this whole like 5-8 minute sequence of Harley Quinn doing some karaoke. To say that this film was a weird waste of time would be an understatement. At least films like The Killing Joke, which were bad, at least Killing Joke had a strong second half. This one was just weak all the way through. And I can't for the life of me think of something that was enjoyable about this, but this is definitely get a few beers in and enjoy. Same about Los Angeles. Does what it says on the tin. It's a battle against aliens in Los Angeles. It's not a very good movie. It's a massive shaky cam fest. But it don't lie to you about anything. And I enjoyed it when I was younger. I really did. Not anymore though. I've watched it again and there's just like nothing redeemable about it. It's a good action sequence. It's got some good cast members in it. Michael Pena and Michelle Rodriguez, for example, are both in it. But there's one character that has a baby in it that dies. They try and force an emotional moment out of that, but it does not work at all. And yeah, Battle Los Angeles is just have a few beers, get a little high, enjoy. Refill. I like this glass. Oh, look at that. Gonna try and fly through a few of these because I'm probably supposed to meet some friends in a little bit. It's Friday night. It's Brexit Day. Speaking of which, happy Brexit Day. Enjoy, my fellow Britons. So, moving swiftly on. We got Battle of the Sexes. Now, no, that's not a fucking movie. No, fuck that. Emma Stone, great actress. Steve Carell, fantastic actor. So I'm seeing this film about a woman that challenges this amazing male tennis player to a match. I was intrigued. The trailer was really good. The trailer does lie though, because the trailer implies that Steve Carell's character is the biggest, most sexist, misogynist piece of shit you'll ever see. Go into the film. His character's not like that. Oh, in fact, his character's more sympathetic. He literally just wants the publicity. He says to Billie Jean King, he says to her, look, we can make a good marketing campaign out of this. It's all publicity for him. So in person, he's proper nice with her, but in press conferences in front of the cameras, he comes up with some of the most sexist shit you can think of. And spoiler alert, Billie Jean King beats him. It is based on real events. But there's LGBT storyline that's thrown in there, and to be fair, Billie Jean King did come out as gay in real life. It would be nice for a bit of a hint on that. If I the trailer showed this badass woman standing up to this misogynist, sexist piece of shit pig, and instead you go into the film, it's a publicity thing, and she's struggling with her sexuality. I wouldn't have minded if the film didn't lie to me about this in the trailer. But even on what it was just weak. I don't recall many memorable scenes from it, apart from Steve Carell's character and his son. They're the only big bits I remember. And this big zinger at the end, how Billie Jean King's gay hairdresser says, one day they'll accept us, but for now, let's carry on doing the dance. I know, it felt like this film could have been more and could identify on what it wanted to be, which was a crying shame because I love both these actors and it was a very interesting concept, but I don't know, I didn't enjoy it, but I will say it does have the redeeming qualities. Steve Carell and Emma Stone are both great, the performances are fantastic. So yeah, it is a shame, that one, but it doesn't go in the worst of the worst tier. Alright. I'm going to finish my pizza slices, so I've got 2 left. I'm going to take a big swig out of my drink. What's the next one? Oh, I've got things to say about this piece of shit. Might bugger it. There we go. Alright. Hey yo.
Sorry, just wasn't sure if you were recording it.
No, I'm just streaming.
Alright.
We're going to Fire Pit.
Uh-huh.
Andy's going to convert that.
Yeah, I've told everyone I'm going down later on. I'm literally
Okay.
finished with this, I'm going down because I owe Fluff a tenner still, so I'm going down to meet them.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get this done before 11ish.
Alright, cool.
That's the attempt anyway.
Should still be there. But
Yeah, hopefully. I've not even been to the Fire Pit, is it any good?
it's good, yeah, I like it.
Yeah. As good, I'm trying to be nice and tipsy before I get there. I'll see you guys down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, see ya.
Yeah, going out after the stream. Anyway, guys, sorry about the delay. Right, this film, this gets its own tier. Assassin's Creed was terrible, but this piece of fucking garbage. So apparently there's two other versions of this. There's an 80s version and one made in the mid 2000s. Basically, plot is sorority house. A slasher comes in and tries to kill them all. Basically, 80s film slasher. You know what? Nice cult classic, I've heard. Probably the mid 2000s one is not as good as the original, but everyone says watch that one opposed to this one. Now this film, how do I word it? It is everything that is wrong with feminism. Every bad side of feminism you have heard is in this film, which is a shame because a Me Too movement is needed in this world. Feminism is needed in this world. But this movie, put it this way, I could not figure out for the life of me if this film was supposed to be pro-feminism or anti-feminism. Pro-feminism or anti-feminism. I didn't know if it was a parody. Oh my god, this is literally the most man-hating film I've ever seen. Every line of dialogue that comes out of one particular character's mouth is a piss take. It legitimately is. Last year, there was a film that was bottom of my list that I thought would take it. Then another film came out late November. I'm like, alright, this is taking it. But then this thing swoops in the very last month of the year. And fuck me, this is... Oh my fucking god. Right. So the plot behind this is the lead character. She has been raped by this boy and it's left her traumatized, and her and her friends are basically basically he's back in town and she rubs it in his face by singing a song about getting sexually assaulted and calling them out on it, which is fair enough. Calling the frat boys, cool, appreciate it. Like a bit ham-handed, but you know what? Carry on. Betty Mate getting everyone to sign petitions. One of the first lines of dialogue is one of them assuming that a man wrote this quote from a book about women being in a man's world before the teacher reveals that it is a woman that actually wrote that book. This film keeps going. After so long, I'm like, there's not a single bloke gonna stand up and say something. One guy does. He does come up and just says, "Oh, can you shut up with your bullshit?" And it's not. She literally says, "Well, I'm thinking like not all men," and she's like, "Did you not all men me?" You just, oh god, this. Did you just not all men me? Is not a valid fucking argument, and the plot of the film is just non-existent. There's no scares in it. The kills are all PG-13 or off-screen, and the plot twist is the frat boys are basically killing any woman that doesn't fall in line in the male-female chain of command or whatever it is. Honestly, I came out of this hating it so much, but I was also scared. I was scared of having an opinion. I was like, right, this is clearly supposed to be a heavily feminist movie. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it's just not for me. I don't know. But every review I've watched has said it's garbage. People have literally dodged addressing this aspect of the film because they're worried about the reaction as well. But they all say this is about a film. I probably missed it. Everyone probably feels better than me. And everyone's like, no, you're being too nice to this movie. This movie is garbage. And IMDb, the website where even the worst films will have like a 5.5 rating. It's like a better than half positive rating. Black Christmas, 3.1. The general public have Black Christmas at 3.1%. I won't be surprised if that's in the bottom 100. In fact, you know what? We're going to check this now. IMDb bottom 100. It's probably not. I'm pretty sure the lowest on that one's like a 2.6. But the fact it's getting close there is beyond belief. So as you can see that, this film is well and truly a fuck this movie. Like a big, big, big fuck this movie. God. I wish I was more drunker for that one because that film is awful. I'm hoping there's some really awful films towards the end of this that I can really get into because obviously I'm getting through it bit by bit. Go finish this pizza off. And we'll go from there. Anyway, bottom 100. Let's have a look at this while I'm doing this. Wait a minute. It's not there. Unless it's not been upgraded since. Slenderman's down there. We'll talk to that one later. Are you kidding me? Oh, I missed it. There's the men's popcorn baby. It's not there. Despite it clearly saying 3.1 here, it hasn't been added. It's not either side of the numbers. Wow. Wow. I feel like Andy B needs to get on that. Just wow. Okay. We're going to move on from that piece of shit film. I'm never speaking of that again. Ever. There's no tear. I'll fuck this movie. That's all it gets. God, why is the stream so really laggy today? Yeah, I know, but why? Let's go some search stuff. Don't even know right now. Come on, KBS, get out there. Know what's happening there. No, continue with that. I might have to cancel the stream midway through if it's going to lag this much. Come on, guys. Alright. Hang on, I'm going to stop the stream. I'm going to be right back in